Good morning, class. My discussion for today is about TPACK. TPACK is technological pedagogical content knowledge. Technology has become an increasingly important part of students' lives beyond school. And even within the classroom, it can also help increase their understanding of complex concepts or encourage collaboration among peers. Because of these benefits, current situation suggests that a school must implement some form of technology in their classrooms. But many teachers face difficulties in doing so. Cost, access, and time often form considerable barriers to classroom implementation. But another obstacle is lack of knowledge regarding how technology can best be used to benefit across diverse subject matter. Today, I will talk about the TPACK model that will give us new framework for the integration of technology in education and how we can structure our classroom to provide the best educational experience for students while incorporating technology. What is TPACK framework? This is about stands for Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge. It is a theory that was developed to explain the set of knowledge that teachers need to teach their students a subject, teach effectively, and use technology. We will get into more details in just a minute, but let's us look at where this started. The TPACK model was written in 2006 by Punya, Mishra, and Matthew J. Koehler in Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge. A framework for teachers' knowledge, they explain that their theory comes after 5 years of studying teachers at all different grade levels with design, experiment to see how their classroom operated, like what you can see in these slides. Technological pedagogical content knowledge, as you can see the model, we have technology, pedagogy, and the content. Now, about this content, we have in the content, in terms of the content, we have give us three knowledge areas to consider, and this is yun nga po, technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. Arranging these three categories into Venn diagram help us to see the four areas that are created in Mishra and Koehler frameworks. As teachers, we design lessons based on how students can best learn from our specific course of materials. Punya, Mishra, and Matthew J. Cover in 2006 TPACK framework, which focuses on technological knowledge, or TK, pedagogical knowledge, or PK, and content knowledge, CK, offers a productive approach to many of the dilemmas that teachers face in implementing educational technology in their classroom. All right. So we have three types of knowledge. The first one is technological knowledge. The second one is pedagogical knowledge. And the content knowledge are thus combined and recombined in various ways within the TPACK framework. All right. The pedagogical knowledge or the technological knowledge employs about teaching methods, instructional materials, and technology classroom management techniques appropriate for a chosen subject areas. And then the pedagogical knowledge, research-based connections between teaching and learning, and the content knowledge, understanding of content, ability to translate into meaningful form for its students. Now, if a teacher is productive enough based on her subject matter, so the teacher can deliver his knowledge into effective ways. By differentiating among these three types of knowledge, the TPACK framework outlines how content, what is being taught, and pedagogy, how the teachers imparts that content must form the foundation for any effective technology integration. All right. So we have uh, how technology is used, how they teach, what teachers know. This order is important because the technology being implemented must communicate the content and support the pedagogy in order to enhance its students' learning experiences. So we have now the content knowledge. Technological content knowledge, TCK, describes the relationships and intersections among technologies and learning objectives. Now, content knowledge describes teachers' own knowledge of the subject matter. CK may include knowledge of concepts, theories, evidence, and organizational framework within a particular subject matter. It may also include the field's best practices and established approaches to communicating this information to students. Content knowledge will also differ according to the discipline and grade level. For example, middle school science and history classes requires less details and scope than undergraduate or graduate courses. So their various instructions, content knowledge may differ, or the CK that each class imparts to its students will also differ. So we have this pedagogical, what I am teaching, who I am teaching, how will I know if the students understand, how will I teach it. While pedagogical content knowledge describes the same between pedagogical practices and specific objectives. Okay. Pedagogical knowledge describes teachers' knowledge of the processes, and methods regarding teaching and learning. As a generic form of knowledge, PK or pedagogical knowledge encompasses the purposes, values, and aims of education and may apply to more specific areas, including the understanding of students' learning style, classroom management skills, lesson planning, and assessment. So, in terms of the student learning styles, uh, we have effective teaching in terms of the lesson clarity, instructional variety, teacher's task orientation, engagement in the learning process, student success rate. All right. In the lesson clarity, teachers make their points understandable and explain concept clearly so the students can follow it a logical step by step order. So we have also instructional variety, variability of flexibility or delivery during the presentation of the lesson. Teacher's task orientation. This is refers how classroom time the teacher devotes to the task of teaching academic subject. And engagement in the learning process. The student devote to learning an academic subject. And the last one, student success rate. This is about teachers' effect refers to the rate at which student understand and correctly complete exercises and the activities. All right, technological knowledge based on the drawing, we have this finally technological pedagogical knowledge describes the relationships and interactions between technological tools and specific pedagogical practices. This is considering its possibilities or technological knowledge. This describes teachers' knowledge of an ability to use various technological tools, associated resources rather. Technological knowledge concern understanding EdTech, considering its possibilities for a specific subject, area, or classroom learning to recognize when it will assist or impede learning and continually learning and adapting the new technology offerings. All right. So we have this TPACK, TPK, and TCK. And then, as you can see, the technological knowledge and the pedagogical knowledge, content knowledge, these triangulated areas then constitute TPACK, which considers the relationship among all three areas and acknowledge that educators are acting within this complex space. Now, in order for teachers to make effective use of TPACK framework, they should be open to certain key ideas, including the following. The first one is concept from the content being taught can be represented using technology. And pedagogical techniques can communicate content in different ways using technology. And the third one, different content concepts requires different skills levels from students, and EdTech can help address some of these requirements. Students come into the classroom with different backgrounds, including prior educational experience and exposure to technology and lesson. Utilizing EdTech should account for this possibility. Educational technology can be used in tandem with students' existing knowledge, helping them either strengthen prior epistemologies or develop new ones. So when we talk about epistemologies, epistemology is about the validity of knowledge. We wanted to validate the students' learning based on the ability of the teachers. So, all in all, the learning competencies in my discussion, why is it important, these learning competencies? Or in Filipino, yun yung tinatawag nating mga kakayahan na dapat matutunan sa loob ng silid-aralan. And this is about employ activities, teaching methods, instructional materials, and technology classroom management techniques appropriate for chosen subject areas. And the another one is apply appropriate principles in the preparation and utilization of the conventional and non-conventional technology tools, as well as traditional and alternative teaching strategies. All in all, this is about the learning to teach is a lifelong process. And to become an expert teacher is a complex, multifaceted process that continues throughout the individual professional lifetime. It will require several different kinds of knowledge, true knowledge of the subject matter, knowledge about schools and classrooms within them, and knowledge of students, and an understanding of how teachers can help this process. Thank you very much for listening.